All right. Welcome to another episode of Growth Ventures, where it is our goal to make your business better. I have a very special guest with us today, mompreneur Leslee Owen, and she coaches other moms and businesses on how to grow their business and reach wins. So, welcome to the podcast, Leslee.
Thank you so much, JP, for inviting me. I cannot wait to get to speak to you and get to learn more about the audience and share what I'm doing.
Cool. That's great because we've worked together on a variety of different things over the years.
Yes.
And so, and I knew that you had launched your business. So it's like, and I keep watching and seeing, okay, how's it going over there? You and your husband, what are y'all doing? And
Yeah.
how things are going. So it's been neat to watch the growth and see the kind of the progression over this last couple of years. So
Yeah.
Great.
I know. You've definitely kind of been witness to this whole evolution of me going from kind of doing my consulting and coaching on the side for a while and then fully launching in 2021. And you were there. And honestly, if it wasn't for your insight, your wisdom, your encouragement to say you have what it takes, you can do it, I don't know if I'd be sitting here talking to you. So
just kind of walk me through. I mean, what made you decide to launch your business and help other mompreneurs out there? Because I know you're a full-time mom, full-time business. So, what kind of motivated you to do this and get into it?
Well, many mompreneur stories probably started in 2020. I am one of millions of women that exited the workplace during that time because it simply just was unsustainable. I have 4 children. At the time, I think I had 4 children under 10. Mm-hmm. One of them, my youngest, was 2 years old. So I had 3 that I needed to homeschool all of a sudden. One that was 2 years old that I couldn't even tell you what she was doing half of the time. And I was also helping lead a marketing department in a corporate setting. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the demands that were required of me in the office really didn't change. Like, I would say they actually demanded even more just because of the circumstances that we were all in. Sure. We needed to get things out faster. We needed to be the first to communicate, certain thought leadership to our audience. And it was just extremely difficult to do both. No, sure. I began to question my ability, my talent. Did I even have what it took to do any of this? At the time, I was on track for marketing director, but then that kind of felt like it was slipping through my fingers as they began to take reports away from me so I could focus on my family. Yeah. And I just realized, if I don't do something now, if I don't take control of my own future, I will continue to have people tell me, okay, this is the new seat that you're going to be in. And I didn't want it. I didn't want anything that they were kind of maybe offering to me that would be a little easier. Mm-hmm. And so I just decided now is the time. And in May of 2021, I leapt and decided to take my on-the-side coaching and consulting business that I had at that point, maybe for 5 years. Yeah. I said, hey, what if I went all in? What if I bet on myself and just did the thing? Mm-hmm. And I did. I went full-time May 2021. But here's the thing, JP.
Okay.
When I left, kids were getting out of school end of May. So I decided I'm not about to start my consulting business in the summer. That's just not, that will not work. So for the first time in my motherhood, I actually became a stay-at-home mom. I had always been a working mom, always. Okay. But for the first time, for about 2.5 months, I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband was traveling crazy. He was a part of a nonprofit that had him go across the country. So I was solo parenting as well. And I realized, oh my goodness, this is also not it. I had always wondered, maybe I just need to dump the whole working mom thing. Maybe that's why I'm so stressed. Maybe I just need to embrace being at home. And that wasn't it either. That was a very, very difficult summer for me as well. And I realized mothers go through this mommy whiplash, I call it. Yeah. Really, really hard at work and in our career. And then we look behind us and we see our families that are like, what about us? Come back. So we slam on the brakes and we believe, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to give up all the career and I'm going to stay home and I'm going to be Laura Ingle and I'm going to bake bread and I'm going to knit. And that's not it either, because then
Yeah.
we end up being resentful and bitter and bored.
Hmm.
So I was determined to find a way to do both
Okay.
without burning out, to have
Right.
a mission, but then to
It's a
also
challenge. That's hard. It's, I
very.
mean, both ways are hard.
Mhm.
But you made the leap. You took the leap of faith.
Took the leap, and so what really kind of makes me extremely passionate about why I want to create a roadmap, if you will, for other women. I never want women to feel stuck. I never want a woman to feel stuck in the way that I was, that I
Right.
couldn't take a leap to do anything. I was too scared. I felt like, what if I, what if I cause my family to go homeless? What if I don't make money? What if I fail at this? I want to create a roadmap for women that do have entrepreneurial aspirations, and to lay out, here's point A, point B, point C, and this
Right.
is how you do it. And so now there's not a reason why you can't.
Mhm. Very cool. And so how's it going?
It's going really well.
Yeah.
So I would say last year, between the coaching, so I do coaching and consulting.
Mhm.
And then my husband and I also own a web design business. And so between all of that, definitely hit multi six-figure business. And so that's been amazing,
Yay. Awesome.
in really being able to take that, like that fear that I had of like, are we going to can we pay our mortgage?
Mhm.
Those are the things that we're seeing. Okay, this is working. People want our services. Women want this type of coaching. And so it's always so nice to get that affirmation, that we're in the right spot. And
Yeah.
now we're scaling. So we're not in the startup mode anymore. We're certainly in the scaling mode, and it's an exciting time.
Yeah. Very cool. I mean, it's great to hear. Yeah, great to it's been a journey, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
You've taken it through. You've had the challenges, you have the ups, you have the downs. Of course, ups and downs are going to continue to happen, but you're making it happen, and you're coaching other women to make it happen as well.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things that kind of been watching is you're way more active than I am on social media. And you brought up an idea the other day that I haven't even explored yet. And, I call myself a laboratory, but this is one area I haven't even explored, which is stories.
Mhm.
Okay? You talked about utilizing Instagram stories to build your business and coaching others to build their business. So can
Mhm.
you walk me through? I mean, for those that don't know what an Instagram story is, can you define that, and then maybe walk us through how
Yeah.
you use that for growing a business,
Yeah.
especially a
So
mompreneur business?
yes, so I know that my target audience they are on Instagram. That's their
So
platform of
you've got to know where your audience is. I mean, that's a
yes.
no-brainer, definitely.
Yeah, so platform of choice is Instagram. And so stories are essentially, they're about a 15-second to a minute video
Okay.
that you can record. It only lasts for 24 hours, but it shows up. And so Instagram has really designed their platform to highlight stories. So when you log on to that app, you're going to see these multiple circles, and it's typically of the people that you engage with their account the most. They're going to put that circle in front of you of their face. And it's really just this more authentic kind of day in the life. Oh, I have a thought, I want to share it. The stories that are most successful really utilize it as a way to take their audience along with them. And I think the way that I use it in particular, I'm not even thinking about taking my audience, all of the people that follow me. I really see it as I'm taking that one woman, I'm talking to that one woman,
Okay.
like I'm talking to my best friend.
Yeah.
And so that's how I show up on these stories. And because I am so familiar with the way she thinks, what her big pain points are, what her
Mhm.
challenges, what are her objections, I'm so familiar with it because that was me.
Hmm.
That was me. And so all I have to do is really talk to Leslie 5 years ago and utilize
Yeah.
this feature called stories that makes it feel like she's FaceTiming with her best friend.
Hmm.
So I want her to feel that way. I want her to lean in and think, oh my gosh, how did she know that I wrote that down in my journal last
Yeah.
night?
Good.
And stories allows me to do that.
So I mean, obviously Instagram, you're not abandoning all the other features of Instagram. This is a way to connect with your top followers, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's a great distinction. I create reels on the regular. Reels is really my strategy to attract a new audience because reels does
Hmm.
have the ability to go wider, right? And so if
Right.
you're looking to grow your following, utilizing your feed with reels, and really your posts, your static posts are coming back on the scene in
Hmm.
comparison to like early last year.
Right.
Those really kind of attract newer audiences. Your stories is your strategy to go deeper with who you already have as existing followers. Um,
Okay.
and so especially if I'm in like a launch mode, like if I know I like right now, I'm selling group coaching. It launches January 22nd. I don't necessarily, and although I am putting content out there to go wide, I
Okay.
really want to just continue to talk to the women who've already been following me,
Sure.
for the last 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year. And I want to go deeper with them to really like kind of stir within them that maybe this program is for me. Maybe it's time for me to jump into this program. And so that's why stories are really effective.
So those are going to be, when you really think about it, those are your top leads.
Yeah.
I put leads in quotes, but those are your top leads because the ones the most engaged with you, the most likely the ones that are going to convert.
Yes.
That's how you're using it to connect emotionally with these individuals one on one,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can end up, of course, selling and helping them. I mean, it isn't just, oh, come buy my stuff. It
Yeah.
really is geared towards helping them in some form of fact with the product which you're selling. In
Yes.
this case, coaching.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you talked about an engaged lead. I mean, not only are they engaged, but in your DMs, I mean, so many people nowadays are utilizing their direct messages to sell.
Hmm.
So, maybe before we would think, oh, okay, they sent me a message. Now I want to transfer them off immediately into my CRM, or maybe I want to get them on a call. There are more and more people are nurturing that lead in their DMs to the point where they can sell it and close it in
Hmm.
the DMs. I've closed workshop tickets before, in my DMs. I've closed strategy sessions where people want to jump on a call, but they want to pay for an hour of my time. I've been able to close that in DMs. And so especially for the woman that's just so used to this platform and this dynamic, it's a comfort for her
Mm-hmm.
versus let's jump on a call right now and let's talk about all that. May be a little bit too much of a reach.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you go where your community is, and you've
Mhm.
got people that, yeah, they want to work over email, or oh, I've got an audience that wants to work over phone. I've got an audience that wants to work over direct messages. Absolutely. You go where you go where your audience is and work with them there. It's where you build your community. So I totally get it. I mean, I'm not going to pick up the phone. I think a lot of people don't pick up the phone these days. So, and I don't want to bother them. So phone is out.
Yes.
My default is email or Slack.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's fantastic. So
Mhm.
you've been able to grow a lot of your business over this channel.
Very much so. Yes. And it's a channel that you can't all of a sudden, like, let's say you have a product that is
Mhm.
launching and you're like, okay, now is the time for me to show up on stories. It is something that honestly just needs to be a part of your like day to day. Like we always know about consistency, but for me, it's not just consistency because I'm checking a box. For
Mhm.
me, it's I'm showing up and I'm talking to my friend. Like, have I talked to my friend today?
Right.
Have I
Which
checked
means
in?
you've got to build the community in order to be able to do that. So you've
Yes.
got to plan up early to
Yes.
use the platform and build
And
your audience.
and you're right. I have to build trust. And
Mhm.
so if the only time I show up on my stories is to sell something,
Yeah.
then they're going to be like, bye. I'm not interested in this. And so throughout the year, in between launch cycles, I am focusing on three main things when I show up. I want to be human.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to always show up perfect, with
Right.
the perfect outfit, the perfect hair, makeup done, and showing my perfect life. That's not human.
Yeah.
I'm a human being. I have really bad days. I have days where I drop my kids off in pajamas. Like, and those are moments that I intentionally share because I want my audience to connect with me as a human being. I want to be helpful. So I can't just be, oh, I'll only give you help if you buy my service, if you buy my product. I will always be sharing things that, hey, did you know I came across this XYZ and it helped me with this, and I want to share it with you now. And it's not even my product or service, it's somebody else's. And it, especially in stories, you can really like even talk about things that are outside of maybe what your scope or your brand is. Like I can talk about, I love this new glass mug. I think it's beautiful. My friend got it for me for Christmas. So there's this sense of being like helpful content
Yeah.
that my audience begins to lean in and was like, oh my gosh, that was right. I do want to get that. Leslie did say, and now I want to try it. And then the third thing is being heartfelt. People know when you're authentic. People also can sense if you're being fake or if you're being guarded.
Oh,
If you're holding something back all the time. And I really do try to show up authentically
and
and
you do. You really do.
for them to see that.
I've seen some great stuff on there from you. That, oh yeah, she looks like she's having a down day. I can see it. I can hear it in her voice. Your authenticity is absolutely key. People do not like the salesman on there.
Yeah.
And so even though we're on here selling, it's still a personal relationship. And in our industry, my and your industry, everything is about the relationships. It's about trust. So that authenticity is very, very key. Very good. Great. All right. Well, we've kind of reached the end of our time here. And, obviously we don't want to keep people around for hours and hours, though we could probably talk for hours and hours about all these different things. Very cool. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us today. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment, help other people just like you find this great content. And I really hope you found this useful and in your business and that it will make it better. Leslie, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thanks so much, JP. It was great to join you.
Bye.
We appreciate you joining us for this session at Growth Ventures. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And visit us at growth.ventures for more resources based on this topic, as well as other episodes that will help you grow your business. That's growth.ventures. Until next time, get out there and start growing your brand.